Howdy cowboys and cowgirls, I'm Cowboy Jack, and today I'm really excited. Do you guys see where we're at? That's right, we're at the Rosenberg Railroad Museum, and right now we're standing right outside the education station. Do you guys like model trains? Because I really love model trains. They are so intricate and detailed and all these cool moving parts. Let's go check some out and have a little bit of fun. Come on, guys. Wow, get a look at these right here. Wow, so this is a really big model train display right here. This train is running down the tracks and I think it just came through. Well, there's multiple trains. Wow, look at this guy right here. And then there's another train right back there. Oh, he's going across a bridge on the, looks like there's a lake up above and a spillway right here. There's a little boat on some rough water right there. Boy, there is a lot to take in here. So much to see. See, I just really love trains, and somebody took a whole lot of time and a lot of attention to detail to build this really incredible display for us. Here comes that train right down the tracks. Wow, now those trains are really cool to look at, but it's also really fun to look at some of the details around this little town that they built. Like there's an 18-wheeler probably delivering some supplies to one of the businesses right there. There's a really cool old yellow car right there. Look at that yellow car, I love that thing. Yeah, boy, this must be set in the 1950s or 60s maybe, I'm not real sure. There's just so much detail. Like these are oil cars, so these guys are carrying oil. Like this one's for Texaco right here. This one's for Sinclair, a Union Pacific car. Wow. Look up there, there's like a mining operation up there. You guys want to go check that out? Come right around here. Wow. Oh, there's a cattle operation right here, guys. Look, now this is kind of where they would store the cattle. And did you know they actually move a lot of cattle by train? So they could load them up right here through this chute right into the train and then take them on down the tracks. So here we've got some cows, some more cows, some horses. And then even in here, there's a couple of, I think those are pigs. No, more cows, a lot of cows here. And then look, this longhorn right here busted out. He's hanging out over by the water. This train comes right through the tunnel and right near this big mining operation. Look at this. Wow. Now, I don't know exactly what they're mining here, but they have these really long conveyors lifting that up and lifting that up into that building where they probably process it somehow. And then, wow, that train came right by me when I was talking. That's crazy. But this right here is a conveyor belt and it's loading product right here. And then when the train could stop underneath and get a load of whatever they're mining, probably coal or something like that, but it would load up and then haul it on down the tracks. Here he comes, racing down the tracks. That is so cool. Just look at the details of these mountains you've got here. I mean, these are all made out of like foam and things like that, and somebody took the time to carve all of this detail into there, paint it, and even just the trees. If you take a look at the trees up close, I mean, all of this work, it had to take a ton of time to do. I just can't believe it. There's so much going on up here. Oh, look, there's some folks camping up here. Look, they've got their little supplies and a water trough, and there's their Jeep they drove up there in. That is so cool. Oh, and here's a stream that starts. This is cool. So this is the water flowing down and it flows into that lake we saw, and that's where those boats were. Wow, there's a horse up on the hillside. All kinds of stuff. Ooh, this looks like some kind of iron scrapyard here. See, this big excavator has a claw on the end of it, and he's grabbing that stuff up and loading it into bins so they can load it on the train, take it probably to some smelter somewhere so they can melt it down and make more stuff. Wow, well that was a really cool look at this model train, and it's got so much incredible detail, but we're just getting started. They have a whole lot of model trains here for us to check out. All right, cowboys and cowgirls, this is the logging camp. So this has been modeled after an old logging operation out west a long time ago. The detail on this is just crazy. So you've got these really cool streams, and look, that's a beaver's home right there, and then a little beaver dam right there, all in that water. But look, this is like a redwood forest or some kind of really big wood forest. There's little guys back there cutting trees all over the place. They've got this jig built so they can load logs onto the trains. Look at this. Here's an old, I don't know, that's like a steam skiff. It looks like they burn wood to create steam and power their little boat there. Here comes the train. Wow, guys, look at all this detail. I mean, even limbs coming off of the tree. Whoop, I almost didn't see that guy there. He's busy trying to chop down that tree. Wow. Hey, there's a tree house. An actual tree house. A house made out of a tree. Lady washing some clothes, and they've got some clothes on the clothesline. I found something I really like. Look at this guy sitting in the boat kind of relaxing, and his puppy dog's trying to talk to him. Wow, now there's just so much detail and so much attention that was put into this. All these little buildings, these guys back here hanging out on the porch. Guys, come here, come here. So this is like an old west logging camp. You know how I can tell? This guy right here is panning for gold. That's the process where prospectors would get some dirt in their pan and dip it in the water and kind of shake it around like this and wash it out. And if they were lucky, they'd find some gold dust in that pan. That means they were close to something really big. That is so cool. And look at this guy. He's busy building a railroad trestle right there. These guys are kind of working on their house, hanging out. These guys are waiting for the train to come back through the tunnel. Wow, and there's so much more. I mean, there's a whole old west little town back here. You have the hotel there where you could get a good night's rest. The river down here. Come over here. There's even more over here. See, this is like another steam-powered boat. See, they would burn wood or coal to produce steam and power this wheel. Look, this guy's camping on a boat. How cool is that? I bet that wasn't a very restful night's sleep with all that rocking around. This doesn't look like calm water. It's moving pretty fast. There's some horses and a corral up there, a cowboy talking to him. Hey, get a close look at that guy. He kind of looks like me. Here comes the train. Here's kind of like a wetlands area over here. You can see all these stumps, and it's kind of real wet over here. That's why they have this. They would do this in the Old West days. They would lay logs down and then more logs going this way and put the tracks on top of those. I mean, there wasn't great building materials like there is today. Oh, I see a couple of white-tailed deer hanging out up there. You guys see them? There's a buck, a doe, and another doe. Wow, what an amazing train display. This one was really cool, but we're only scratching the surface. I mean, that's 2 of them that they have here, but they actually have a whole lot. You guys want to check out some more? All right, cowboys and cowgirls, now that we got to take a look at that really cool lumber town and the gold mining and all that woodsy stuff out west, let's take a look at some of the more modern stuff right here. So this is actually modeled right after the Oakland train station in Oakland, California. So if you look down here, it's a hustle bustle, big time busy area. You got the Hotel Belmont there, the Leviathan Maintenance Company, manufacturing company, all Annie's Antiques, the State Bank. I mean, it is really busy up there. There's all kinds of stuff. Whoa, check this out. Come here, guys. Look at that. The local theater is actually playing Gone with the Wind, if you can see the sign for the movie. Now look at all of this detail. There are people all over the place. You even have vendors down there, like that guy's selling popcorn to people that are wanting a little bite, a little snack. Here comes the train down the track. Wow, and even right here in the train car, you got people sitting down there in the, like, kind of the exposed skyway. That was a feature on a lot of trains for a while. That's so cool. So all over here, that's the Oakland train station, right? But then we're gonna start moving on into the San Bernardino Valley over here. And this is more of an industrial space over here. So you can see where there's actually a switch yard with all sorts of things. Yeah, these aren't just passenger trains over here. These are freighters carrying all kinds of goods all over the country. Look here, there's a crude station. This is like a terminal where they would store a lot of oil coming in and then put it on different trains as they were told to. There's the Shell refinery back there. Wow, so what they do back there is they take crude oil and they turn it into finished products. Wow, that's a really loud train. So they turn into like gasoline and diesel and jet fuel for airplanes, all kinds of stuff. Oh look, there's some guys camping down here. They have a little fire going. They sure are camping close to the tracks. I bet that's scary. But I bet it's not as scary as those guys climbing up that really tall ladder back there. Now, as we move out of that industrial area, we start to move into one of the smaller mountain cities over here, like a little town. This is so cool. One of the things I love about how detailed the builders were when they were building this model is you'll notice even on top of this tunnel right here, you see how it's a little bit darker at the top? Well, those trains used to burn a lot of coal. And so they would blow really black smoke out the top. And whenever they'd come through that tunnel, it'd be blasting soot and smoke into the air, and it would actually blacken the top of the tunnel just like that. Look at that crystal clear water down there. Boy, that's cool. There's some folks having a great day on the boat, some guys working. That guy's got a fish in his hand. All completely surrounded by trains. Wow, now look in this town. There's a couple of different, like this is a bakery right here. There's a restaurant. There's a lot of stuff going on. This is a happening little town, I tell you what. Look here, this kind of looks like an ice cream stand right here. Wow, a bicycle shop. Everybody's riding their bikes over here. And then even all the way up this hillside, there's a guy riding a horse. There's a couple of climbers. That guy looks like he may be prospecting for gold up there. There's just a lot going on in this little sleepy town here. Not so sleepy after all, is it? Whoa, look out, trains coming through. Oh, those are Pullman cars. It says it right there. Those are really cool old train cars where people could ride inside. Boy, there is just so much going on this train display. It's making my head spin. I need to cool down. Wait a second, are you guys laughing at my hair again? Okay, I'll put my hat back on. But I'm just overwhelmed. This is so incredible. Wow. Well, we're not even done yet. There's still more to see. Let's go check out another one. Now, model trains come in all different shapes and sizes. This is kind of a chart showing that. So G gauge is really big. What we've been looking at are some O gauge and S gauge and HO gauge and even an N gauge. But like I said, they come in all different sizes, and that it's how big the actual train is itself, but also how narrow or how wide and how big the track is. So this right here is much smaller than what we've been looking at, but I think it's absolutely incredible. That train's moving really fast today. But look, there's even some dinosaurs in here. Like this dinosaur looks like he's mad at the phone company. He took out their pole. He's saying, hey, I don't like that bill. I'm not paying you, so I'm just gonna take the service out. But then there's even more dinosaurs, like that dinosaur back there. I think he got mad at the car repair shop, too high of a bill, so he's gonna tip over the car. All kinds of stuff going on. And it's just really detailed. How'd that dinosaur get way up there on top of the Cotton Exchange building? That's crazy. Wow. But see, even though, oh, look at this. Those houses look like the old show Full House. You ought to ask your parents about that one. Anyways, there's just a whole lot of cool stuff going on. And the thing that I love about it is even though this train display is smaller, that doesn't mean the detail gets any less, because this is still incredibly detailed. I just wanted to show you guys this little one real quick. Let's move on to something pretty big and pretty cool. All right, now this is an O-gauge train display being built by the volunteers here at the museum. And it's a work in progress, like they haven't put in all the landscaping they want and everything just how they want it to be ultimately. That's why it says under construction. But I wanted to show you guys because there's a lot of really cool trains running around on it. This one actually is the Polar Express train. Now, something I haven't talked about yet, you know, all these trains run on electricity, and these tracks are actually electrified to power the engines. But they're controlled by these really advanced controls here. All of these different systems do something different. And I don't know anything about how they work, but there's experts here that do. Anyways, let's take a look around this town. It's really cool. Look up there, there's like a whole amusement park, guys. Wow, there's a carousel where you could ride a horse or unicorn, something like that. There's actually a ride that's a ship back there. How cool is that? Then another carousel, and then way in the back, you guys see that really big Ferris wheel? That is so cool. You look all through here, there's all these different, this is another Polar Express train right here. Look at how cool all that is back there. Look, I just love the sound of this train. Look at it going by. Wow, now this little town even has a Greyhound bus station back there. Wow, there's some of those Greyhound buses right there, all backed up into their spots, and I bet people would get off at the train station right over there. Wow, I'm gonna be right here when that train comes right through the tunnel. Wow, that was so cool. All this stuff is so unique. There's another one right there. There's another one right there. They're all over the place. Wow, this is so fun. I can't wait to see what it's gonna look like. We're gonna have to come back when they get it all completed and completely built out with all of the details that they're gonna put on this train display. Because there's gonna be a whole lot going on. Woo! See, this Ferris wheel is gonna be hooked up and actually running. But wow, getting to look at this big railroad trestle up close is so cool. Wow, there's Rosie's Boxcar Diner right there. I bet that's gonna look really fun when it's all built out. Look, they even have a flagpole with good old stars and stripes up here. That is awesome. Wow, cowboys and cowgirls, what a day. We've had such an amazing experience here at the Rosenberg Railroad Museum, looking at all of their different train displays and model trains. Boy, that was a lot to take in. I mean, my head was absolutely spent. Hey, one more time you guys are laughing at my hair? Okay, I'll put the hat back on. Anyhow, thank you guys for coming to check this out with me. I mean, these displays are absolutely incredible. So I hope you had a great time, because I know I did. And I hope you come along with us on all of our adventures, because we go on a lot of them. But until next time I see you,